Players just getting all squared away. The referees giving everybody thumbs up. All right, here we go. 3,
2, 1, Tetris! So I guess the organizers said that it takes too much time to do a countdown from 10. So we went with 3 this time, it seems.
Yeah, then someone must have told those guys at CT1, like, hey, guys, like, we're behind here. Can we,
yeah, exactly.
give a moment?
Yeah, we made a complaint, actually. We went up to them and said, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, took it to the complaint department. Yeah, that's what we did. Oh, man. We are underway, though. We are underway with this next set of top 32 matches. Up at the top, we got some messes going on here from Huff side to begin. Well, there we go. We're going to get a Tetris here for Huff. We'll go to 29,000 here early on. 32,000 for Wallband. Meanwhile, at the bottom, about a 2 Tetris lead for DMJ to begin. DMJ has yet to burn. We are at 49,000 points here for Captain, 91 for DMJ.
Yeah, right now, top game was separated by 5 points there for a second. It was up for that troubles at the beginning, but really finding his footing now. Needs a J piece, and now an L or J, gets another J. Finally uses the J for the dependency, and currently enjoying about a 40,000 point lead. Wallband clearing out of his troubles, getting 2 J's at a good time. Set up for a Tetris, just waiting for the bar. Meanwhile, at the bottom, both players clean. But DMJ currently enjoying about a 1.5 Tetris lead for the moment.
Yeah, and DMJ has, again, we saw how long it took for him to even burn a single line. It's still on a 90% Tetris rate. Well, a little less than that now with that burn, but certainly is off to a really, really hot start. That, oh man, some awkward little overhangs there. It's kind of some awkward burn setups, and so far not really working out too well. But that T piece gonna come in clutch right there. He's at 190 here. 177 here for Captain, so still hanging on to about a half a Tetris lead. Meanwhile at the top, Wallbant at 137, Huff at 174. And Huff's board not looking too hot right now.
Yeah, Huff there just got a J piece when he really needed an L piece, so it's going to be a couple more burns here for Huff to try and get Tetris ready once again. Wallband almost caught up behind by less than a Tetris at this point. Same line count for both players. Now both players are clean, just waiting for a bar, but we are into a drought here in the seed. Drought still going and counting. Huff needing it to re-up the well. Actually, once the Lombars come, they come in 3. So Huff able to get the Tetris. And Wallbant, a little bit of trouble. Needs an L and a J. He was going to get the J piece. Now has a Lombard dependency. Huff also with some trouble. Seems it's a bit of a difficult seed here at the moment at the top, as Huff not going to misplace any pieces, just slowly burning this down, but could be conceding the lead here to Wallband, who has a completely clean board. At the bottom, Somalian only behind by about 1 Tetris, but is also ahead in lines and has a row of garbage there at the bottom, while DMJ is completely clean.
Yeah, and that bottom game right now is certainly, I mean, honestly, it's been neck and neck all around, but this bottom game in particular, it might end up coming down to this burn sequence here that's going on from Somalian right now. But look at this, we were exactly tied for a moment, as now DMJ is getting into some trouble here up at the top of his board. Oh man, you could see almost some gears turning in his head there. Was maybe thinking about setting up for the dirty Tetris, but then saw maybe it was only a triple. But there we go, dirty a Tetris for DMJ, and we'll get another. Why not? 353 to now a 326. Very nicely done there from DMJ.
Yeah, Somalian here, who was waiting for the J piece, didn't show up, has to concede putting an S piece there, so it's going to be a solve, just taking a couple more burns. Still building 1 row off the bottom. There you go, going to get the tuck in of the J piece, and almost Tetris ready. A bit annoying. Would love a T piece there for the middle of his board. I'm gonna have to cover up the well with that S piece, as he's not able to utilize the next 2 bars for a Tetris, but now waiting for the bar. Well is open. Bit of a suffer sequence here for Somalian, but finally gets the Tetris. Somalian.
We're approaching that 19 transition here. It is coming up in just a few lines. Somalian only about 10 lines away at this point. Oh, but that J was really nasty for his board. But we'll get a couple touches in, and we'll tie the game.
Yeah, currently
lines left.
Tied completely in score, but Somalian is 1 line away from the transition. DMJ still with 3 Tetrises available. Currently at the top, Wallband was able to build up a lead, but it's only going to be a slight one if a lead at all. Wallband gonna need this final Tetris. Huff already into level 19 at 424. Wallband at 407 with 1 more to go. At the bottom, Somalian already into level 19, into level 20 in fact. 465 here for Somalian, 500,000 for DMJ, just entering level 19 now.
Yeah, and kind of some all across the board. It's been lower transition scores than what we'd be used to seeing. Even in those last sets, you would kind of see 600Ks, flying for days at transition for a lot of these top level players. So certainly, these sequences have really been tough for these players so far. As now the 19 going to be one of the difference makers here. As we got about less than a Tetris difference here between Huff and Wallband. Huff will get the Tetris to bring it to within 16,000 points, 515 to 532. Meanwhile, on the bottom, 577 to 579. It is DMJ hanging on to a lead as the captain hits the Vince.
Yeah, we're having pretty similar games here for both matches. Both players on the right side for some reason, slightly ahead. Now they're slightly behind both of them, but DMJ able to get the Tetris to break the pattern. But yeah, all these games really going neck and neck, but now Wallband and Somalian respectively having some issues. Wallband able to clean up, currently behind of Huffaluffagus by about 2 Tetrises, gets one right there. He's also behind in line, so all things considered, still a very even game here at the top, but at the bottom, Somalian is ahead in lines and down in score. So DMJ enjoying a pretty solid lead for the moment. Has a Lombard dependency that he's going to have to deal with, but score looking good here for DMJ.
Yeah, DMJ score-wise looking pretty good as Wallband, hold up, top Wallband in a bit of trouble here. He's got a nasty long bar dependency down the middle, and the bar comes up just too late, but now we'll get another one to fill this in. Yeah, so he's going to have to get out of this mess pretty quick as Huff is going to have an opportunity here to start building a lead. Is ahead already by about 40,000 points, so a Tetris and a half. The difference. And of course a nice fits there from Huff. There we go, Tetris for him. We'll go to 764. 695 here for the Wallband as we are starting to get down to the end of the game here. Down to the level 29. And all 4 of these games looking like it might come down to the wire.
Absolutely, but at the moment, Huff is ahead in score by almost 100,000 points, has a Lombard dependency, and is obviously also ahead in lines. So right now, Wallband, he's just able to stay very efficient, then he might carve himself a pretty good chance in this game here as we're approaching level 29. Right now, Somalian with the difficult task here has now switched to rolling, as you can see, and about to enter level 29, but hangs the bar there on column 9, gets the bar for the Tetris, but needs to burn 2 lines at the top and will transition high up. So far, Somalian able to stay alive, but doesn't get the bar all the way over. Set up for a very dirty left wall Tetris, but Somalian not able to get the bar over and tops out at 851. So DMJ going to take game number 1 at the bottom, and at the top, Huff at 994. Mess of a board is ahead of Wallband. Both players into the post 29. Wallband and Huff both needing to burn, but Wallband seemingly closer to being clean. Actually, both players now clean. Huff with just over 1 million points. Wallband at 947, and Wallband trying to set up for a Tetris.
Yeah, Wallbant really looking to close this gap. He's set up with the aggressive bar placement. He's going so aggressive on the right, but gets the bar for the score. And will bring this to within 30,000 points. Huff with the max, Wallbant at 994, and Huff will top out. Huff will top out, 20,000 points. Wallbant is about to reach Max Out City and has got there, has 8,000 points left, has plenty of runway here. There's a triple, couple burns, and that'll do it. Wallband! will get it done with the 29 chase down. All right, well, we can at least get our bottom game underway, so let's count it down on the bottom in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And bottom game getting underway. There's a top match getting all situated here. Wallbant perhaps a bit cold like you two. He's putting on the jacket. All right, here we go. At the top, we're going to count him down as well in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, what you got there, Tugi? Oh, man, of course, we gotta shout out one of our Matcherito contributions here. Got $100 here coming in from Gia Huff. It says, go Huffaluffagus, heart emoji. Of course, shout out to Gia Huff for that Matcherito contribution. Thank you so much. Of course, for supporting your fellow Huffster.
Absolutely. Does need the support at the moment as Huff yet to Tetris 7 lines into the game, but is set up for it now. Gets the Tetris, gets a Lombard now. Could use a couple of square pieces for the left side, exactly what he's going to get. And yeah, steady starts here overall, but Wallband and DMJ respectively ahead so far early on here on level 18.
So again, this is game number 2. Wallbant with a nice setup of the Vits there on that right side early on, so it's gonna hold on to a nice lead. Meanwhile, on the bottom, though, you know, again, DMJ kind of the player. I mean, you're looking, you know, we're at 34 lines in on his side. He's at a 94% Tetris rate, off to a really hot start, and that's kind of similar to what we saw the first game, Tugi, you know, where you saw he just absolutely sent it at first and never looked back and was able to take the win, you know, as he got to level 29, just never let go of that lead. Perhaps we could see more of the same here.
Yeah, looking poised to build up another lead here early on, especially as Somalian having a couple of issues. This would be a dirty Tetris if he's able to get the bar. There you go. Going to work out perfectly. And currently behind by just over 2 Tetrises at the same line count. And 2 Tetris lead as well here for Wallband at the top.
Yeah, boards up at the top, not looking too hot here. Wallbant looking okay. A little bit of separation of the stack in the middle, kind of a high middle of the board, which kind of tends to split your stack in half. So it's going to have to work around that. But Huff's board not looking too hot either. It's got a line dependency buried by a couple minutes. But there we go. Nice dirty triple there. Going to help him bring this down.
Yeah, right now, similar stories really. Wallband and DMJ ahead, although Wallband had to do a bit of burning, which has allowed Huff to get ever so slightly closer here. Tetris there for Huff, will take the lead momentarily, but Wallband behind in lines will get the next Tetris and back into the lead. At the bottom, Somalian once again having a couple of issues. Isn't actually too bad of a game. 292 after 71 lines, not really a bad game at all.
Yeah, no,
but DMJ here has really been making life difficult here for Somalian, demanding excellent efficiency to try and keep up with them.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, still at an 89% rate here. We are over 70 lines through this one, and did have a hang of a L on the right side, but there we go. Nice burn there, nice rooftop burn, and it's got the right side back open for business. But meanwhile at the top, as DMJ leads on the bottom at the top, Wallbant leads as well. He's at 335, 320 now for Huff. Both players will add a Tetris, and the lead will stay at about 15,000 points. So Wallbant certainly looking good here. This is exactly where he wants to be, as kind of, you know, he's kind of the underdog going into this match. You know, when you're going up against a guy like Huff, you got to think like, man, this guy's going to give it everything he's got. I got to really fully send it to have a chance here, and Wallbant, again, with the lead, certainly doing just that.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, Huff being the favorite, and is the favorite because Huff obviously very proficient on the post-29 speeds. But in the last game, Huff not really able to get going, and because Wallband was pushing him so hard, was able to eke out a victory. And in a scenario like this, when you're the favorite and you've dropped game 1 and your opponent is playing well and is in the lead, you know, you might be the favorite going into the game, but you're definitely going to be feeling the pressure in a situation like this. So it's going to be up to Huff to see if he can rally back and try and secure game number 2 here. At the bottom, Somalian was able to build into this lead just a little bit. Currently behind by 60,000 points. 486 here for Somalian. At the end of this drought, finally gets the bar. DMJ at 548 now, experiencing the same drought that Somalian just did.
Yeah, and we are about to transition here at the bottom, and DMJ is still just on fire here. Another Tetris coming in. Look at that, over a 600,000 point transition on his side, as Somalian, LeCaptain, is already there at 559. So DMJ will have the advantage. There's the long bar, there's the Tetris with a 620 here. And off they run on 29, or on 19, excuse me. Well, they'll get to 29, we'll get there.
It's okay, same colors.
511 Wallband, 557 here for Huff the Stuff, as they are about to transition up top as well.
Huff the Stuff, is that another Kingsman classic?
Oh yeah.
Just thought of a word that rhymes with Huff.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And I thought, you know what, this is going to be a nickname. Huff's nickname being the Stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty good. One of our great lyricists. Currently, Huff the Stuff needing a J piece over towards the left side to try and reopen as well. Gets the bar over. Slightly behind here as both players into level 20. 596 here for Huff. 610 for Wallband. At the bottom, Captain at 649. DMJ at about 800,000 into level 22. This is the type of pace that you want for a 1.3 into kill screen. So DMJ in competition, really pulling out all the stops, having a very strong game here. Somalian 150,000 points behind, has a Lombard dependency in the middle, and currently experiencing a drought at the worst possible time. Gets the bar when it's not really useful. Now could really use a bar. We'll see if he's able to get it. Trying to keep this dependency open. Now needs 2 bars to fill in this dependency. Just getting droughted at the worst times. Finally gets the bar just as he covers up the well. And Somalian going to top out at 694. DMJ with a monster pace. Already ahead. Going to take game number 2 and into the 2-0 lead.
Wow, what a strong game there from DMJ. Perhaps almost a little bump. Like, man, I kind of want to play that out. That was a crazy game, right? But, you know, got to take the win, certainly, and just move on there. Of course, there's no signs of let up yet as we are moving our way over to the top. We've got 808 here for Wallband, having a pretty good game himself. Huff at 760 here, so about a 50,000 point spread here as we are moving our way along here on the 19 speed.
Absolutely. Right now, Wallband able to maintain this lead throughout this game, really pushing Huff. Couple of clean Tetrises right there. 823 in the middle of level 25. It's pretty solid pace, all things considered, but Wallband currently ahead. Huff here at 826 gets another Tetris into level 26 at 858. Wallband at 935.
Yeah, we get 968 here for Wallband, 893 for Huff. We are on level 26. We are starting to approach that level 29. A couple levels left to go. Huff with the cleaner board here, and certainly with a chance here to start closing this gap. All right, we are all set to go for the game number 3 at the bottom. We're going to count them down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. But in the meantime, no time to waste. We are on level 27 up at the top. Max out is on the board for Wallband. Huff, with just 7 lines to go to 29, will get a Tetris and will join Wallband in Max Out City. But it's got to close this score gap in even more as he's ahead in the line count.
Yeah, Huff here just going to take the double into 29. Gets a Tetris up to 1,050,000 points. Wallband has 2 more Tetris available, but is going to have to do them dirty. Wallband might just decide to just burn this down. It's just going to burn it down into 29, only with a 10,000 point lead. Huff trying to build this down. 1,064,000 here for Huff. Wallband almost set up for the Tetris. Wallband set up for the Tetris, waiting for the bar. So Wallband with the Tetris, Huffaluffagus with the Tetris, but Wallband's board starting to fall apart while Huff, minor misdrop, but only one hole on his board, should be able to burn this down, but Wallband also able to burn this down. It's less than 10,000 points separating the two players, but Huff with some misdrops, getting up high, and Huff.
Oh, Huff's not going to do it.
Huff's going to top out at 1,122,000. Wallband into a 2-0 lead over Huffaluffagus.
And he can't believe it. He is absolutely speechless as we get set for game number 3 at the top. Wallband now just one win away from advancing to the top 16. My goodness, what a set this has been, as they are going to get all set, squared away to begin game number 3 at the top. But meanwhile, at the bottom, we got 208 here for DMJ, off to another hot start here, 90% rate here through 40 lines. Meanwhile, 188 here for the captain, whose tournament life is on the line here.
Yeah, currently 2-0 leads here for both, in both games here on the second stream. Somalian 191, DMJ 231. DMJ has what felt like been ahead the entire set. I can't recall a single time where DMJ was behind in score, just been running away with the lead. Somalian obviously doing a good job to stay within striking distance, but DMJ doing enough to maintain those leads to the end. And now just one game away from moving on to the top 16.
Yeah, well, one win away, that is. Of course, Somalia not out of it yet. Certainly could win this game, but definitely has got to really up the aggression, I feel like. I mean, DMJ really forcing his hand at that.
Yeah, but DMJ there, as we say that, currently bit of a bad sequence there for DMJ. Now doing a good job to clean this up without any complications. Okay, DMJ, got that T-piece a little bit too much to the left, so it's going to be a bit more burning here for DMJ, actually going to allow Somalian to take the lead momentarily. It's actually going to be even in efficiency, as DMJ able to get that Tetris. Somalian back with a Tetris as well. 342 now for Somalian, 314 for DMJ. So a little bit of burning shows what a great game Somalian has been playing, able to capitalize, and now into the lead finally.
Yeah, it's Somalian, the captain, taking the first lead of the match here that we've seen on the bottom. As he is enjoying about a 1 Tetris lead at the moment, as we're getting Huff back up on the top. But they're starting to approach that transition on the bottom. We got about 40 lines to go here. Again, it happens at the 130 line mark, as we're about 90 lines through. Well, you can do some math, right? Some people can, but I don't get paid enough to do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not very good at math.
That's
Right, well,
that's not why they bring us here, right?
Yeah.
The players got to know it, but we're just here to,
Yeah, if you thought I had some sort of like sick joke or something, no, I'm just not very good at math.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so again, we're at 100 line mark now. We are making our way to the 19 speed, as the players up top are getting all set to go here. We've got a touches coming in for DMJ and one for the captain here. 466 to 441. It is the captain with the lead. It is going to look to hang on to that, because again, we've seen in some of these earlier games that DMJ was trying to put the pressure on Somalian to really play aggressive, right? And now he's answered the call, as we are all set on the top. Game number 3 begins in a 3, 2, 1 Tetris.
Right, here at the bottom, we are approaching transition. Somalian has been able to maintain this lead, currently at 537, DMJ behind at 512. It's only going to be a slight lead here into the transition if Somalian is able to get this final Tetris, although DMJ could get one more right here. Somalian's left side, though, a little bit problematic. Gets a T-piece and an S-piece, going to add a lot of relief here for the left. Gets another T. Z-piece also going to be helpful. And Somalian just going to burn into the transition. 542 here for Somalian. 567 for DMJ, also on 19 now.
Yeah, this is do or die here for the captain. Tournament life is on the line as DMJ has retaken the lead. We are on level 20s for both now. It is about a 1 Tetris difference, 574 to 596. Tetris for the captain will give him the lead back. And so far, looking like this one might end up being a back and forth affair here. It's really going to come down to who can play more efficient here, who can make the fewest mistakes.
Yeah, right now, DMJ had a small imperfection on his board, but was able to clean it up almost immediately. Somalian also had a misdrop, but going to be a couple more burns, but able to clean it up just as well. Gets the Tetris right there into level 22 at 637, DMJ at 658. So, really not much separating the two players. Both players clean, both players getting Tetrises right there. Good adjustment there for DMJ to get the tuck in of the square.
Yeah, some really good tucks. Oh, but meanwhile at the top, Wallband in some trouble here. In some serious trouble. Okay, got to get the burn resolved on the right side. He is all good to go. It is about an 82,000 point spread at the top. Huff with the lead. But meanwhile, back on the bottom here as they are racing along on the 19 speed. Got about a 50,000 point spread. DMJ back on top here. And is going to look to run away with it here as this board for the captain is getting a little dicey.
Somalian here needing a J piece. Oh, gets the J piece just one piece too late. Has to end up with a hole on his board. Dealing with it pretty well, all things considered. Gets the bar for a Tetris. 739 here for Somalian. Able to uncover the hole, but needs a J piece. Okay, now has a Lombard dependency, which he wants to fill in sooner rather than later. Able to do so. Now keeping a clean board. DMJ, meanwhile, already into level 26 at 837. Somalian at 781. Somalian needs an LP. Okay, gets the Tetris right there. 813 for Somalian. 869 for DMJ, who is 4 lines ahead, but ahead in score by about 2 Tetrises at the moment.
Yeah, so as far as pace is concerned, about a 1 Tetris lead, provided the line count is the same. But of course, the captain gotta capitalize on that pace that opportunity that he has to make up some of those points. So this is gonna come down to the wire here, Tugi. Again, game 3, tournament life on the line. And it is all gonna come down to whether the captain can properly make the roll switch in time for the 29.
Absolutely. Somalian right there getting prepared for the grip switch.
Yeah, you can see it happening there. He's got it switched. He's got it resting on his foot there.
And DMJ, meanwhile, has transitioned to level 29 at 1,051,000. Somalian going to transition at 969. Ooh, not able to get the L piece over. Not able to get the bar over. So Somalian tops out at 969, and DMJ well over the max out. Going to take game number 3 and will advance to Championship Sunday into the top 16 of this year's CTWC.
Wow, GG's all around. Certainly that bottom match, an exciting one for the ages there. Certainly a hard-fought effort from the captain, but DMJ just too friggin' strong, man. He was just pacing all day long.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's rewarded with a trip to the top 16. So we'll see him back here tomorrow. Main stage here.
As mentioned before, DMJ, a little bit surprising to some members of the community that he got 11 max outs yesterday and got such a good qualifying result. But certainly here in the match against Somalian, who was no slouch, was playing very solidly. DMJ just too strong and still going here on level 33, making a statement that qualifying score was no fluke, and he's definitely going to be a problem here even later on in the bracket. Meanwhile, at the top match now, Huff staring down the barrel of an 0-2 deficit, but currently ahead in this game by about 50,000 points. 470 for Huff, 420 for Wallbant, are about 10 lines away from the transition here for both players.
Yeah, and of course, if you're Huff, certainly after hearing that the captain went out there, you certainly don't want to suffer the same fate. Gotta get dialed in here. Got the transitions looming. Unfortunately, that bar coming in a piece too late. But Wallbant will be the first to transition up on the top. There's a touch. Let's go to 493 right away. Huff with a couple touches on the table here, so does have the pace advantage here. As he will now join Wallbant on the 19 speed at 523. We're going to get this match front and center here where it belongs. Tournament life for the Huffster hanging in the balance. racing along now in the level 20. 543 to 553. Wallband gonna retake the lead now with another Tetris.
Huff here, a little bit of a problematic left side of the board. Okay, good burn there with the TPs, and overall now a pretty good board here for Huff. Gets the Tetris right there into level 21 at 606. Huff at Wallband rather at 571 there, got a Tetris now up to 599. So in terms of runway to 29, Huff ahead by about 1 Tetris, as he needs to take this and the next 2 games to advance to the next round. Good double there with the squares for Huff, and 663 here for Huff, 632 here for Wallband. Both players having very clean boards here on the post transition.
Yeah, and you know, again, this is kind of when you're down 2-0, you know, it's a situation where you got to just take this one game at a time. You got to really be in the mindset of, okay, I just need to win this game to have a chance, and that's how that's the mindset that's got to stick with you with these last couple games. You know, if you are able to win this first one, it's like, all right, we're on game 4, got to win this game. You know, that just take it one game at a time. And Huff certainly going to look to do that right here as he's enjoying about a 1 Tetris lead over Wallbant while being behind in the line count.
Oh, Wallband there maybe didn't know where to put the bar, ended up with a lumbar dependency, has it covered up right now, but thankfully able to uncover it and fills it in. But a couple more burns here for Wallband, gonna allow Huff to grow his lead just ever so slightly. Now ahead by about 2 Tetrises. Wallband, meanwhile, needing to reopen this well. Ends up building a hole, but it has his well reopen. Gets the Tetris. Had to adjust there to get the Tetris, but now has a hole down at the bottom of his board. Huff, meanwhile, completely clean board. 860 here. Gets another Tetris. 892 here for Huff into level 26. Wallband at 806. And lots of long bars needed here for Wallband.
Yeah, Wallbant really needing some good pieces here to resolve this situation, but a couple bars coming in, you know, hey, that's what you would call for, and they showed up. And now just has a couple burns left to get back down to the bottom. Huff, in the meantime, having to burn as well, but will be prepared first. There's the Tetris, and will open up about 100,000 point lead here.
Yeah, so Wallband here has been able to go pretty much even or into leads here into 29, but in this game, Huff looking poised to take a significant lead into 29, so it's going to be up to Wallband to properly outplay Huff on the post-29 speeds if he wants to take this game, take this match in a sweep.
29 is fast approaching for our players. Wallband's board not looking too great, but now he's always got to fix, but gets the Tetris with a T-hang on the left side, so he's got to work on getting this down. He's got about 100,000 points to chase. Oh man, this board is starting to spiral out of control. Oh, but save for Huff, and it's a simul top out for our players, and Huff is gonna hang on.
So sometimes that can be a problem, but Huff there, looks like the hands were slightly warmer. We're ready now for game number 4. So let's count it down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris!
Yeah, you know, certainly keeping the hands warm, that is important, you know, and I can, as a former roller, I can attest, you know, showing up to an event in winter or even your own house, you know, after being outside, all the, you know, snow coming down, you know, hands all cold, it certainly is hard, you know, because you're still feeling kind of almost like stiff in the hands, you know, like fingers just don't want to move, and it can be a real challenge sometimes, and perhaps AC even causes the problems there too.
Yeah, it's interesting just how, I mean, obviously certain people are more peculiar than others, but generally rolling does require some pretty exact conditions for you to do it optimally. I can tell you, personally, I was actually worried about having sweaty hands instead of cold hands. But then I came to the venue and realized that the AC is just blasting, so.
Again, it is early days here in this game number 4. And again, Wallbant still on game point, wants to avoid the reverse sweep here. As you can see, he's kind of screen looking quite a bit, just to make sure that he is still keeping up with Huff. Now, because Huff's warmed up now, certainly he's got to make sure that he is good to go here. Make sure he does not show any signs of let up.
Absolutely. Wallband, as mentioned before, was the winner of a Canadian regional in March, and was actually also the runner-up of the Boston Tea Parody event run by Fractal. I believe placed second to Sodium in that one. Currently behind by about a Tetris to Huff, who's looking very determined to try and send this match to a decider. Gets a Tetris right there, but has to concede building a hole, so gonna need to burn this down from the top if he wants to stay as efficient as possible. But there's another Tetris for Huff.
Yeah, and there we go. Gonna get that nice LJ combo there to fill in that dependency. And look at that, 2 burn solve, and he has got that right side reopen. I mean, that's just watching the pros at work too. Yeah, I mean, this is just another day at the office. Being able to come up with those creative burns, it's just easy as pie.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of the time, certain players are very creative, absolutely, but a lot of the time with these pro players, you have to consider that these guys have put in thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. A lot of the time when you see something crazy, it's an exact situation that players have already seen and seen multiple times and know exactly what to do. And when you're a top player, you're trying to extract all the little percentage points, and someone like Huff, obviously one of the best players in the world, lots and lots of tricks up their sleeve. Currently ahead by about a Tetris still. Both players clean. Wallband getting two Lombards in a row, not able to use a Tetris for either.
All right, yeah, and again, big game here for Huff. He's gotta stay in this here. He's holding on to about a 2 Tetris lead over Wallbant. Both players having a pretty good game right now over that coveted 60% Tetris rate here as they got a simul screen look there. All right, just to get that confirmation. 367 Huff, 323 for the Wallbant. Again, as you mentioned, Tugi, the finalist at the Boston Tea Parody, also a finalist at the Motor City Tournament, where he ended up losing to the Cold Bucket, who we saw earlier today. Certainly, again, it's a very strong player in his own right. And, again, proving it right here on the biggest stage up against Huff. Again, has Huff on the brink of elimination here as we are starting to approach the 19 transition.
Absolutely, but Huff right now doing a good job. As we said, just has to take it game by game, and currently in game 4, ahead in score by about 2 Tetrises in runway, a little bit ahead in lines as well. Wallband doing well though, keeping on pace. Yeah, both players playing clean. We're past the 100 line mark and approaching level 19 here for both players. Ooh, Wallband there. Not sure if that was an adjustment or a misshift, but a little bit of a tough situation now for Wallband. Needs an LRJ to burn this down. TP is going to be helpful. Uses the T for the double, in fact, and building out his left side now. And Wallband has now allowed Huff to extend this lead just ever so slightly. So Huff really looking good to try and send this into a Game 5 decider.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Again, the 19 still coming up here. Still, lots of time left for something to happen. But of course, a little bit of indecision on some of these pieces from these players, but they're handling it nicely. They kind of just throw them wherever they want to go and kind of work around whatever happens. As we got transitions in just a couple lines. It's about an 80,000 point spread. Huff with the lead. As we're looking at probably double 500 Ks at transition. As we got 581 for Huff. Add a Tetris, go to 605 right after transition. And Wallbant about to join him as well. Is at just shy of 500K. There we go, 498. Add a Tetris, we'll go to 523. So it is still about an 80,000 point spread. As Wallbant is looking to just get it done here.
Absolutely. Wallband here needing a J piece to get Tetris ready once again. Has to keep putting S's over to the right side, but there you go. Finally gets a lumbar for column 8. Almost set up for a Tetris now. Oh, didn't go for the tuck. Maybe wasn't sure about actually not misdropping. Now would love a T piece. They need to do some burns here at the top. Needs an L or J now, but okay, gonna take the double there with the T piece. Bit of a difficult sequence here for both players, but Huff, there you go, able to get the Tetris. Wallband also getting clean, gets the Tetris, but Huff been able to build up an over 100,000 point lead here as we're both into level 22. Wallband with a Tetris and another Tetris there for Wallband into level 23, but Huff, doing well here with almost 100,000 point lead.
Yeah, you know, some of these tough decisions that Wallband's had to make in some of these earlier levels of the 19 is really what's caused Huff to build up a larger lead than what we saw in the 18 speed. It's allowed him to expand on that lead. And of course, certainly going to look to take it to the house here. 692 now for Wallbant, 801, make that 831 for the Huffsters. We're on level 24 for both. And it's only a 4-line difference too, so certainly the line differential can be close to negligible here. Wallbant gets another one, Huff gets another one. We are continuing along. Now both players are clean, and it's going to be a matter of, if you're Wallbant, certainly going to be a matter of just stepping on the gas here, just staying on it and hoping that Huff makes some sort of mistake here, which looks like he will make a slight one with the T-piece on that left side. So it's coming down to it. And Wallbant doing exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah, it's a bit of an opening here for Wallband as Huff having to do some burning, but is going to go aggressive. Only takes a single to try and set up a Tetris on column 9, which he's able to get. 946 here for Huff, 885 for Wallband. So Wallband is 2 Tetrises behind as we are approaching level 27 here for both players. Wallband getting the Tetris, 918 for Wallband. Huff set up for a Tetris, also needs a J piece. Gonna have to.
Wallband has taken the lead.
Wallband taking the lead here, has 1 Tetris less available before 29 rather, but has a Lombard dependency now as well. So it's going to be extra burning here for Wallband. Huff meanwhile getting the Tetris, goes up to 993. Wallband at 958. So it's a 1 Tetris lead here for Huff in the runway to level 29.
A burn is the difference as Wallband looking to pull off this huge upset here. A Tetris into 29, 1,028,000. And he is off and running here on 29. Huff about to join here, waiting on the bar. And will get it. Bang Tetris to regain the lead. They are just racing along on 29. Huff with the Tetris. And it's going to be a matter of who can push the other to play more aggressively. Wallband getting set up here, level 30. There's the Tetris for Wallband. And it's staying within 1 here. Huff's board starting to look like a bit of a checkerboard at the moment. Of course, Wallband just hanging in there. Both players keeping the boards pretty low, trying to stay conservative here before we get to that level 39 super kill screen. Oh, but hang of a bar. Hang of a bar for Wallband. Oh, I don't think he can do anything, and that'll do it. That will do it. 1,095,000, and that is going to send us to a game of 5 decider.
So Huff here.
What an impressive finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Huff here locking in these last 2 games. Wasn't really playing all too great. It was basically having troubles really getting started on 29, and Wallband able to match Huff in the efficiency. But these last 2 games, Huff taking the lead and really running away with it, and looking much better here on 29 as he's looking to just take this down, probably just to prove he would have dug out of this anyways. But we're into the game 5 decider now between Huff and Wallband. Wallband was up 2-0, but Huff getting the next 2 games to try and deny a famous upset here for Wallband.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, it is decider time here. And of course, the winner again moving on to top 16 in what should be a fun day for tomorrow.
It's really just the people. I don't think I can play this game still if it was just me. Like back in 2000,
But here we go again. Some burns happening here, some Tetris happening. And again, that last game really came down to the wire. It just came down to the 29. I mean, they were just within a single, less than 1,000 points was the difference going into 29, and Huff was just able to outlast Wallbant on the 29. Wallbant, again, couple, the keys to victory going to be either just keeping it, having the lead advantage going into 29 and putting enough pressure on Huff to go aggressive on 29, or to just simply keep up on 29, or perhaps some combination of the two. I think it's more likely. But those are going to be kind of the keys here. If you're Wallbant looking to pull off the biggest upset here that we've had so far, that's going to be how you do it right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wallbant just needs to keep it going, really. Throughout all 4 games, I feel like Wallbant has been playing completely fine, very solidly, but it's been more about Huff and how he's been able to play on the 29 speeds. The first 2 games, really not able to get going whatsoever and wasn't able to put up many points. But then in the last 2 games, being behind or being in the lead, Huff was able to put up a very significant score post 29, and that's been a difference here in these last 2 games. So we'll see if Huff can continue the trend. Currently Wallbant, though, in quite a bit of trouble here on 18. Not really in danger of topping out, but it's going to be quite a bit of burning expended here, as Huff has a pretty clean board and can really start to build up a lead here.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's a pace killer here for Wallbant. Not so much a game ender, but again, that pace is the pace that he needs to have a chance is certainly starting to slip away a little bit here. Though again, still early, but definitely do not want to get into a prolonged dig for in a game 5 situation like this. You gotta make sure you keep it under control, keep up the pace here. But of course, there is some merit here. Again, game 5, you gotta make sure you can stay alive to get those points. So certainly want to get out of the mess, but gotta try to avoid it in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Wallbant is content with just building on row 2 here. Going to be able to uncover the hole at the bottom, and we'll take the double there with the TPs. Huff, though, was able to build up a decent lead. 65,000 point lead here for Huff. Wallbant back at 182 is clean now. Needs a J piece for the left side, but otherwise good clean board. Ready to score some Tetrises here for Wallbant.
Yeah, so Wallbant getting back into a groove here now after some early struggles. He's at 185 here, an absolute suffer score so far, 275. That's definitely not what you want to see. But of course, Huff under 100K ahead. He's at 297, so it's about a 3 Tetris lead here for Huff. So certainly not completely out of reach, but Wallbant, again, definitely wanting to try and up the pace here, and is doing just that. Now at a 40% rate here, as we are starting to get close to that level 19. We're getting close to the end of this series here. What has been honestly just an absolute thriller. It has been so fun to watch, and I cannot wait to see how this 19 unfolds as we start approaching it here.
Yeah, sometimes you get complaints from people that the early matches aren't really worth watching, and some aren't. Some would argue that's kind of the point of seedings, right? But in this case, Huff went down 0-2 immediately and has been on the back foot the entire set. So it's been a struggle the entire time, and we are at the edge of our seats trying to see if Huff can hold on and take game 5 and complete the reverse sweep to advance to the top 16 tomorrow. There you go. Huff with the Tetris goes up to 380. Wallbant currently at 334. Both players about 20 lines away from the 19 transition.
Yeah, we're starting to get close now, and again, it's still only about a 2 Tetris lead as we got a drought forming here for our players. Wallbant gonna have to fill in a dependency, but Huff, meanwhile, gets the Tetris. Oh man, these jagged pieces here are just not so kind here for Wallbant's board. And he's gonna go for a flat T-burn. Oh, is he setting this up? Okay, no, he's gonna go ahead and burn this down. Man, definitely not gonna go that crazy here in a game number 5, but my goodness, it was looking like maybe he might. As we got 10 lines left to go until the 19, Huff will open up about a 90,000 point lead. But pretty low transition scores all around compared to what we used to seeing from both of our players. You know, partially due to some burning that's been required, partially due to some conservative play, but we're there now. 377 to 463. The Huffster with the lead.
Huff there getting 2 S pieces at a very good time, keeping a clean board. Currently ahead by about 2 Tetrises, actually about 3 Tetrises, as both players are now even in lines. Wallbant here waiting for the bar, keeping a good board, not wanting to burn, knows that he's behind and knows that he has to go for it. It's now or never here for Wallbant, but unfortunately not able to use the bar for a Tetris. Staying up high, gets a double into a single to try and keep this board survivable. Still waiting for a bar here. There you go, Tetris for Wallbant. Finally, 463 for Wallbant. Gets another Tetris, 491 for Wallbant into level 22. Huff ahead in score by 58,000. Gets another Tetris, goes up to 576. Another Tetris, so it's a 100,000 point lead here as both players are into level 22.
Yeah, this is again the 19th speed. It is becoming a war of attrition here at Tugi. We've been here a while, and now it is coming down to it. Wallbant really gonna have to step on the gas here, as Huff has made a bit of a minor mistake. He's giving an inch here. If you're Wallbant, certainly got to take a mile, as it is a 56,000 point spread. 637 and now 579. Huff with a couple more misdrops here. 640 now for Huff. Wallbant has closed this gap a bit. It is now just a 40,000 point spread. And Tetris for Wallbant, and it is neck and neck, Tugi.
Huff here has a couple of lines in hand still, but Wallbant is now within striking distance of Huff here in this Game 5 decider. It's a winner-go-home situation. Wallbant getting droughted, but finally gets the bar for the Tetris for the lead. Is still ahead in lines, so Huff still with a higher one-way to 29, but Huff now running into the same drought, but able to get the Tetris as well. 712 here for Wallbant, 697 for Huff.
Goodness, just a couple levels left to go. A Tetris for Wallbant. 747 and now 730. As Huff is a few lines back, but again, this board for Huff is just not ideal right now. It is not in scoring position, and Wallbant's going to look to build the lead here. He's got a huge opportunity here to do so. And oh, missed the tug of the square. Had such a good adjustment, but missed it. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're good. He's got another chance here. Nope, he's going to go ahead and just cut his losses, bring this down. We got 12 lines left to level 29 on his side. About 20 lines left for Huff. Man, going for a column 8 here, but the pieces are not coming as Huff has regained the lead. Tugi, this is just coming down to the wire, man.
Absolutely. Wallbant here, currently ahead by 17,000 points, but only has 1 more Tetris available, while Huff takes the lead right there and still has 2 more Tetrises to go potentially into level 29. Wallbant there into 29 at 844, setting up for a Sentinel Tetris. Misshifts the T-piece, but able to get the bar in for some relief. Now set up for the Tetris in the middle, but no, gonna burn it down. 867 here for Wallbant. Huff, meanwhile, into level 29, gets the Tetris, now ahead by 65,000. Wallbant trying to bring this down, try and reopen this Tetris well.
And this is for advance with the next round. Tugi, my goodness, they're just racing along here. Still a 60,000 point spread. Tetris Wallbant. And a nice talk too, my God. 30,000 points the difference. It's about a Tetris and change. Or actually, no, over a Tetris, under a Tetris, excuse me. 925 to now 953. Huff with the lead. Both players set up. Oh my God, bar flight. There's a Tetris for Wallbant. He'll take the lead. He will take the lead by 1,000 points. Oh, but a mistrap. And Wallbant is finished at 973. Alphalophagus will complete the reverse sweep. He has got it done. Jeez, man, what a set.
Hello everyone, I'm your underwater host Sharky. I want to say thank you for watching. And that means that since we're at the end of this match, it is time for today's lore drop. Today we actually have 2 great pairings, Dog vs Jerpy and Laser vs SV. So let's dive right in. Now again, this time I want to focus on the second match that I mentioned first because I have quite a bit to talk about in regards to Dog and Jerpy. Now the second match consists of once again Laser vs SV. Now we talked a bit about SV in a prior round, so let's talk a bit about Laser, because some of you might be thinking, Laser? As in Laser Monkey, a speed cuber and host of Monkey League? Or you might be thinking Laser as in Laser Monkey from Bloons Tower Defense. Well, yes, it is the same Laser that is the speed cuber. Not only does Laser play Tetris in addition to speed cubing, but he actually got a bye into the first round by qualing with 10 maxes and a 989k kicker. Laser Monkey would make his debut in 2020, placing 24th, but would then come back in 2021, placing 38th. Laser would have his breakout year in 2022 when he would make his first IRL CTWC debut. That year, he placed in top 16 with a final placement at 12. However, he wouldn't be seen at CTWC 2023. So this year, he makes a return. Unfortunately, his opponent, despite getting the bye, is SV, who SV was actually only 3 seeds away from getting the bye himself. To say that this match has any heavy favorites would be incorrect, but just due to sheer recent experience, SV does have the advantage. Now, the second match features Dog versus Jerpy. Now, as I mentioned in the last lore drop that included Jerpy, Jerpy has some incredibly consistent placements across CTWC. Remember, Jerpy placed 20th in CTWC 2020 and 2021, 22nd in 2022, and 23rd in 2023. But we've talked a bit about Jerpy, let's talk about Dog. Dog playing Tetris is a player that almost doesn't need an introduction, but I'll kind of give you guys one anyways. Dog would make his debut in CTWC 2020, and in that same year, he would end up winning after reverse sweeping his brother Pixel Andy. Not only did he win that tournament, but he became the youngest person to win a CTWC ever by doing it just barely above the age of 13. However, if you thought that that was impressive, he would arguably do something even better the next year. Rolling had made his debut in the Classic Tetris World in 2021, but Dog didn't switch to rolling. He tapped his way into a second championship, defeating Huff in the finals, who Huff was in fact rolling, and became the third ever person to win a CTWC back-to-back. The first of course being Jonas, who has done it twice, and the second being Joseph, aka JD. But those were in the online years. What happened once things went back to IRL? Well, Dog would make his IRL CTWC debut in 2022, but would he three-peat? No. Under the no line cap rule set, Dog was unable to progress past top 4, ending with a final placement of 4th. But the 2023 World Championship would incorporate a super kill screen at level 39. So under this new rule set, was Dog able to win another championship? Nope. Fractal would end up putting a stop to those ambitions, forcing Dog to once again place 4th. But have you noticed something with everything that I pointed out? Similar to last lore's drop, there is a pattern here. The 2 years that Dog played where he didn't win the championships, he placed top 4. Dog is in the conversation as being one of the best players ever, and his competitive consistency and play outside of competition is truly groundbreaking. This is all to say that Jerpy, although being a really, and I mean really strong player, Dog is just one of the ultimate roadblocks in this tournament. So if Jerpy can beat him, it will surely be ground shattering on many different levels. Anyways, that's all for today's lore drop. I know these lore drops are starting to get a bit in length and a bit one-sided to a specific player that had a bye from round 0, but there's just so much history with a lot of these players that it's very easy to get carried away while still omitting details to save for later rounds. But if you made it this far, make sure you let me know in the comments by including lore drops in your comments somewhere. Once again, more and more people are starting to stick around for these, and it makes me happy to see that people are getting to know these players a little bit more than what they are just on the screen, just playing matches. But anyways, if you enjoyed this match, leave a like. Comment down your favorite moment below. Me personally, it had to be the decider between Huff and Wallband, but I really want to say that the entire match was just phenomenal, and I really was attracted to the storyline. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel to support CTWC. And if you really want to support us, become a channel member today. Anyways, I'm your underwater host Sharky, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow for the next match of CTWC 2024.